Hey Internet, welcome back to This Printed Thing. My name is Mike, and many of you may already know that I have a fairly large family. I have 9 kids, 8 of which still live at home. So with me and my wife, that makes 10 of us living under one roof. So with 10 people living in one house and all of us having our own recreational activities that we like to do, this creates a little bit of a problem. Water bottles everywhere, all over the house. All right, so maybe this isn't that unique of a problem, but my wife has asked me to come up with a unique solution, which is why you're here, because this is a 3D printing YouTube channel. While, as you've seen, I am capable of designing such a solution, I often first turn to the interwebs to see if somebody else has already created a solution. But before we jump down that rabbit hole, first a word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by PCBWay. PCBWay is your one-stop shop for basic or advanced PCB assembly and prototyping. They have a long list of products and services, including, but not limited to, CNC machining, sheet metal fabrication, injection molding, and yes, even 3D printing. Step up your prototyping with parts and PCBs from PCBWay. That's PCBWay. PCB prototype the easy way. Now back to the show. Now, my wife was actually the one that did the research, and she found this design that she liked, which is kind of a pyramid type design, but it's made for wine bottles. Well, that should be just fine for water bottles as well, except that these are designed for bottles that are at the widest 86 millimeters. We have some water bottles that are up to 91, 92 millimeters wide, so we're gonna have to upsize this a little bit in our slicer. But here in this picture, we have an example of 6 slots. We're gonna need 10, so we'll need 4 on the bottom, then 3, then 2, then 1 to get a total of 10 available spaces. And it looks like there are pieces for center pieces, right and left, and then 1 for ultimately the top. So we're gonna have to figure this stuff out. So here I am now in Bamboo Studio, which is our slicer. And I'm going to bring in just 1 left piece. What we're going to do here is we're going to print 1, and we're going to size it, I think, 110% should do us. But to make sure, we're just going to print 1, and then we'll test it out. So let's print it in white. And we're going to do 0.28 millimeter. We're going to do kind of a higher layer height, bigger layer height, so that it prints faster. And that should do it. Let's slice it. And let's see, this is going to take just a little over 4 hours. But before I send this off to the printer, one thing we may want to do is put a brim around it. This part I'm not so concerned about, but these ends here, I'm afraid they may tend to curl upward in the first few layers of printing. So let's go ahead and do an outer brim and then reslice it. There we go. So let's get it printing. So I got this printed. What I failed to mention earlier was that I was going to print it in vase mode. So it's just 1 perimeter thick, there's no infill. This allowed me to print it very quickly and to not use very much material, so that in case this wasn't something that I was going to be able to use, no harm done. very little material used. I didn't feel like waiting 4.5 hours to see if this was gonna work. This printed in just over an hour. And this is my water bottle here. Mine is one of the bigger water bottles, and this will be the front. And this just slides right in and rests right there. Sticks out the back a little far. I can live with that. It'll still support most of the length of the water bottle. And then it has this little lip here that will hold the water bottle in place from the front. So yeah, this is gonna work. And you can do the math, but we're gonna need 3 left pieces, 3 right pieces, 3 center pieces, and 1 top piece. That'll give us a total of 10 pieces, 10 spaces. Let's get it printed. So now I have all of these pieces printed. I have 3 left pieces, left for you. 3 right pieces and 3 middle pieces that go between the left and the right pieces, and 1 piece that goes on the top. Let's get this thing glued together. And here we go. It really only took me a few minutes to get this glued together. Once you get these first 2 rows started, everything just kind of holds itself together. But one thing you have to be aware of is the side that was, or the end that was on the build plate is actually the front. That's where the little lip is here that will hold your bottle in place. So let's go grab some water bottles. And it works. I mean, of course it works. We measured everything. The only thing I had a problem with was these water bottles have this little rubber, I don't know what you call it, coaster on the bottom of them. And I didn't account for those because I've lost mine a long time ago. But, I mean, I can still get it in. So, yeah. A technology solution to a people problem. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. And if you like content about 3D printing, please consider subscribing. Also, we have a Patreon where we upload all of our models that we create. If that's something that you're interested in, as Patreon members, you have license to sell our designs on Etsy or whatever platform that you desire. And thanks again for joining us. Until next time, fire up those 3D printers and go make something awesome. While you're enjoying this end screen, I'd like to leave you with this random thought. Brushing our teeth is the closest we ever come to cleaning our skeleton. See you next time.